last weekend. It is I, the one, the only, Vincent Allen Leland McFarland Sr., I guess. And I hope you're all doing well. I haven't spoken to you guys in a minute. Live streaming's been disabled for a minute. Now it's apparently back. So we're excited about that, obviously, because I like to do the live streams, especially because I don't like to rehearse. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I feel like I get better content when I just go live, right? When I don't have to, make the video, upload the video, wait for it to upload, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. And my phone only has 128 gigabytes, so I prefer this format. But although we were falsely flagged, falsely petitioned, and we had our live streaming privileges temporarily suspended, but I guess they're back, so knock on wood, hopefully it stays that way. But as the title of the video says, there's going to be a primary election August 4th. There are 7 candidates, and there are 3 seats available. And so because there's over 6 candidates, there is going to be a primary election on August 4th to eliminate 1 candidate. And yeah, we're excited. We're obviously on there. We had gotten all of our signatures, 43 verified signatures out of 48, so not bad. About 10% were no bueno. So pretty good numbers, and because of that, we're on the ballot, and we have some competition. We have a few people that I think are going to do well. I think Matthew Mulholland, I think is how you pronounce it, Mulholland. Anonymous said, "Hi, what's up, buddy? How you doing?" But yeah, Mulholland, Mr. Mulholland, Matthew P. Mulholland. He's likely going to get one of my votes for city council. Not sure on the other yet, obviously myself. So we have to decide between the rest. I have an idea, but definitely not going to be anyone. Well, there's only 2 options. It's not going to be anyone currently on the city council, but it'll either be Shannon or Brett. I don't know the last names off the top of my head, and I probably couldn't pronounce them anyway. So, but Mr. Brett, he's a younger guy. He's running, and might vote for him, but it's between him and Shannon, right? So one of the two. I haven't really spoken to either of them yet, so I guess whichever one tickles my fancy the most will get my support. So, but yeah, fun stuff. We fully anticipate to win a seat, right? But we're not going to take any chances. We're going to be campaigning early and often. We have our signs being made as we speak from Greco. And I'm thinking 150 signs ought to do it. I think 100 really ought to do it. But like I said, why take any chances? So we're going to be putting those signs out and going door to door, business to business, trying to, I guess, kind of corner the city in the sense that, we're trying to really hit all the main roads, all 4 corners of Wayne, kind of anywhere where you're going in and out of cul-de-sacs, right? Kind of where you're forced to, you're forced to look, right? So a lot of these, politics in general, guys, is really just name recognition. And I have a pretty unique name, kind of notorious in Wayne, so I like our odds without any advertising or campaigning. But like I said again, we really any chances this go around. We've got to get Wayne fixed. Well, you can help me out. You can, I'm going to be starting, I guess, another Facebook page, and probably a website. Yeah, maybe a website, maybe not. But probably a Facebook page, I imagine. So, I mean, you can definitely help by sharing the pages, right? Sharing this page, getting the word out. Luckily, Wayne's a pretty small area, so it shouldn't take me too long to get all my signs set up. I'm more worried about them getting vandalized or stolen, or being cited, ordinance violations, right? So, and that's another thing, right? So the sign lawsuit has been dismissed, right? However, we have filed our motion for reconsideration. The judge said that we had some merit to our claims, but the one issue is redressability in regards to the material, right? So the court concluded that basically my sign, it's kind of a not really logical, but basically my Cytoplast, my plastic sign, right? The material that virtually all printing shops use, graphics companies, right? Graphic shops, that's what they use to make, most signs, right, are made out of this plastic material, Cytoplast, or I think that's how you say it. I'm not 100%, but basically, the judge said that according to the ordinance, the substrate which I use for the sign material would still be banned, right? It would still be not in compliance with the ordinance. So therefore, despite all of the merit that I had, that one caveat caused the case to get dismissed. Now, the problem with that, we filed a motion for reconsideration, 43 pages, and we demonstrated selective enforcement. We went around Wayne, after I got the motion for dismissal, or for the order for dismissal. We went and drove around Wayne, and we found 7 locations that have verified the same type of material, and so we've submitted a FOIA, a very narrow FOIA, to the city of Wayne to try to get records for just these particular signs. And so that's kind of what we're doing now, and we think we have a great argument, and we think we're going to get the case brought back to life. So I just got the notice yesterday, and I submitted everything yesterday. It really kind of lit a fire up under my ass, I'll be honest with you guys. It really pissed me off because the judge was, basically for the first 18 pages was saying, basically I had suffered an injury, in fact, prior restraint, the whole 9 yards. But then that one little caveat, he said, well, but your sign's made out of plastic. The ordinance forbids that material. So even if everything's true, you still can't defeat that. Well, we can, because we've proven, yesterday that the same materials used time and time again in the city of Wayne, and many of these signs don't even have permits. As we're going to find out in the FOIA. So regardless if they have permits or not, though, the fact is that is the same material as my sign. And so if it's a banned material, well then, why is the city... Well, it's funny is, right across from City Hall and right across from the Building and Ordinance Office, believe it or not, that's where these signs are located at. So we filed that motion for reconsideration. We think we're going to get it granted. We think we're going to win this because basically he said flat out, I have a lot of merit to my claims, but the material is banned essentially, according to the ordinance. But in all practicality and all reality, it's not. And it's kind of a logical argument, really, because every political sign that I've ever seen in my life is made out of that material. So it would be it's really illogical because, basically by the court's conclusion, you would have to have a permit for every single political sign you put up during election season, which is just not the case at all. And so I don't know. I thought we had a great case, and I still think we do. But I thought we had a great argument, but the judge, saw it differently. But I think he left breadcrumbs in the motion, kind of giving me a hint, like, hey, do this and fix this, and then you're good. So we've done that. Hopefully it's enough. If not, then, we're going to take the L. We're not going to cry about it. We're not going to pout about it. We're definitely going to appeal it, though. I mean, of course, if this motion for reconsideration is denied, because I've proven I have like literal pictures side by side of my sign and the signs in question. So I think we're good. I think we're good, Anonymous. I think we do have all our ducks in a line. Certainly enough to propel the case forward, and at least propel it into discovery. And I want a jury trial. Like I said, if the city of Wayne's not willing to come to a reasonable resolution, then I'm more than willing to, again, jury trial all day. So, but I think my motion kind of settles it, because I show each sign. I give dimensions. I prove the material of each sign. I prove the location, right? So, because I did bring that up in my previous brief, but the judge said it was speculation because I hadn't basically described everything quite enough. So I made sure to kind of fix my defects, if you will, in my argument or in my paperwork, my motions, my briefs, whatever. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. But at this point, I've done all I can do for the sign lawsuit. Now I have to focus my attention tomorrow, especially on the parking pad / pool lawsuit, because that is, I missed the deadline because of the false imprisonment, the false petition that was, on April 7th, that was weaponized against me. So that kind of caused me to not get the notification, and it basically went to my spam email. I didn't get served properly from the city, or from the opposing counsel in general. So I, again, have asked the court to reconsider that, and I think we'll get it granted. Judge Grand seems pretty reasonable. And so I just need time to amend my, complaint, to add to it. Really focusing on the parking, because I have some photographs of at least 2 roads in the city of Wayne that are gravel or dirt roads, where there's a line of cars parked all throughout the road. So, basically my argument is something like this. Well, if all of these cars can park on the dirt, right, in the road, right, if they can park on a dirt road in Wayne, but you can't park on stone in your own property, I think it's kind of inconsistent. Plus, on that same street, we found several cars parked in the grass. We found some cars parked halfway on the road, halfway on the grass, right? And this is the dirt roads, right? So if you can only park on concrete or asphalt, why wouldn't that logic extend to the public road, right? And then, of course, on that same street, you have all these people parking in the grass. You have a lot of people don't even have asphalt or concrete driveways. They have gravel driveways. But I guess the city's going to say, well, those are grandfathered in, which might be true, but you can't park on the grass. And I don't see how you can park on a dirt road in public, but you can't park on gravel or limestone on private property. Well, you can only if it's grandfathered in, but you can't otherwise. But you can park, So a lot of questions need to be answered about that, because it's really confusing and seems kind of contradictory, right? So we're gonna be bringing that up, and we're gonna be bringing up some other things. I don't want to give too much away, but basically that's what we're trying to get into the court. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure we'll know a lot next week as far as that case goes. So those two cases, kind of took a couple L's on them, right, since the petition, right? The false petition really kind of fucked me over, but I have that lawsuit drafted for Laura Starr, and for the false petition and the false imprisonment, and we'll see. I go down Monday to pick up the all the information about that petition. The fact that there's no certificates is really, really damning for the city, right? So basically, I don't think they have a case. I think I have more than enough opinions, right? Evidence that this petition was complete horseshit. That it wasn't based on anything of me being a danger, a threat, right? A true threat, a danger to myself or others. It was just purely political, right? That was conveniently, days before that, I had just submitted my ballots and all that, or my petitions, right? So the timing was awfully peculiar, but the fact that I wasn't criminally charged, right? The petition says that I was following around the police. Of course, no evidence to support that was ever attached to the petition. So it's kind of interesting. And then, of course, I was evaluated by the VA and another private psychiatrist, and didn't find any basis for it. Absolutely no basis for it. So on April 7th, I was not homicidal or suicidal at all. It's just a difference of opinion, right? My personality is what it is, and the city of Wayne is trying to criminalize my personality. They're trying to criminalize the exercisation of my rights, right? They want to essentially forbid me from exercising my rights. It's called prior restraint. The chilling effect, right? That's what this is all about. And didn't work out for the city of Wayne like they had hoped, of course, like normal. Kind of a common theme in the city of Wayne. They really like to, engage in a lot of buffoonery, and they get caught with their pants down, and their wiener's about yay big. Collectively, the city of Wayne's dick is about this big. Not a whole lot there, and it's about this thin too, right? Just no girth, no nothing. So I say that metaphorically, right? Of course, right? I know there's gonna be some people, but metaphorically speaking, the city of Wayne, had a little glitch there. Sorry about that. But all hat, no cattle, as usual from the city of Wayne, especially the city of Wayne Police Department, right? That's where the lawsuit's going to be directed to, which we're going to file. When we already have it drafted, we already have it printed. I mean, we're going to look through the FOIA, of course, and probably find something in there that we're going to, amend our, so we're not done yet. But we're close. We have everything basically drafted at this point, and we're just waiting on that FOIA. So we should have that lawsuit turned in by Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. Had lawsuit tomorrow. We're gonna have that done and submitted tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow night. It might be Monday morning. And then we're going to focus on that Laura Starr, City of Wayne Police Department lawsuit for the false petition, April 7th through April 9th. And, that's about it, guys. On the ballot, officially, finally. Told you guys I was going to do it. Told you, City of Wayne. This is going to be a regular occurrence. I intend to be on every ballot humanly possible. So long as, I'm not actually in office, right? Because if I'm in office, right, if I get elected in 2026, this election, then obviously I wouldn't run for office in 2028 unless I was running for the mayor position, which, I just might do that. So, obviously that's the I guess the ultimate goal is to be the mayor of Wayne, right? That is the ultimate goal, but it's not necessarily required to do what I'm trying to do. But I think it would prove a bigger point, right? That, I mean, really, the city of Wayne needs someone who's going to fight and advocate for them, for the people, right? Not for special interests, status quo, the good old boy system, right? But the city of Wayne needs people. Oh no, don't join their club. Oh yeah, absolutely. Whirlpool Johnson. No, I'm not looking to join their club. I'm looking to dismantle their club, right? So I'm just looking to do what's right, common sense, what people want, which is lower taxes and higher. I don't think we can get, public services like in Wayne are really atrocious. And I just don't think it's worth salvaging at this point. I think with the way the city of Wayne is currently in 2026, you could replace the police and fire department. You could contract those out to Westland or another neighboring city, and you really wouldn't skip a beat. You wouldn't notice anything at all. Actually, I think your services would increase. Because I've never been impressed with the city of Wayne. The police department is absolutely just dog shit in every conceivable way. I've never actually met someone in the city of Wayne who was the victim of a crime where the police actually helped to solve that crime in any meaningful way. I've never heard of the city of Wayne police doing any investigating whatsoever. I don't even believe the city of Wayne actually has an. I mean, it's just atrocious, right? I mean, I was at City Hall, right, posting some stuff on the bulletin board, and one of the workers came out and ripped it off right on camera, live. Well, it wasn't live, but it was on camera. I wish it would have been live, but I'll post the video. I have the video. I just been kind of, being a lazy fuck, but yeah, I mean, right on video, came and snatched the paper, ripped it off the bulletin board, destroyed my property, and then ran into the office. And City of Wayne couldn't have given him a fuck less, right? Even though that is a crime, right? That's destruction of private property. It's all on video, on the clock, right? So really, it's official. It's public. It's employee misconduct, right? And City of Wayne couldn't give a fuck less. Couldn't have given a fuck less. But of course, they care enough to petition me, right? Because they really care about my mental health, right? It's a fucking joke. It's a disgrace. So the only person in the city of Wayne Police Department that I've ever had any sort of confidence in or had any respect for would be Officer Tillmadge, right? Kyle Tillmadge. He's the only guy that I would even call a police officer, right? But it's not saying much, right? There's really not any reason to keep the city of Wayne Police Department around. Like I said, I don't know what they do exactly. They don't deter crime. They don't solve crime. They enforce policies, right? They break into your house enforcing a policy, non-ordinance. Call it an ordinance, but it's just a policy, right? So, can't the city of Wayne Police Department collectively doesn't know the difference between an ordinance and a policy, right? Doesn't know the difference. Doesn't know what the Fourth Amendment is. And so why are we paying for this, right? It's just a walking lawsuit waiting to happen, right? And so, at the very least, we need to go through our city charter in its entirety and just get rid of, probably hundreds of ordinances, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens. But I mean, at this point, it's just like, why have the liability of the Wayne Police Department, right? Why even have the liability? Amendment is. They don't know what the First Amendment is. We learned that in the Blackwell case. Blackwell versus Lisa Nocerini, 2022. We learned that the City of Wayne Police Department doesn't know what the First Amendment is. They don't know what the Fourth Amendment is. And, the City of Wayne doesn't even know how to... The City of Wayne Police Department doesn't even know how to accurately input information into the iChat, right? They can't even do that properly. That's why Judge Plakas... That's why Judge Plakas has ordered the City of Wayne to appear in court on April 30th, right? And so, Because if the city of Wayne can't even get a simple background input correct, right? Even after being told by the court, I mean, what are we talking about here, guys? Why are we even wasting our time even having this discussion? Of course we need to cut, the entirety, really, severely cut, or just eliminate or contract out, preferably, the entire police department in Wayne, Michigan. And you'll notice you'll pay less money and you'll have better quality services. It's a win-win, right? Now, of course, there'll be propaganda like, oh, we need the police. No, we really don't. Like I said, they're not obligated to protect you according to the Supreme Court. And I have zero confidence in any, outside of Officer Tillmadge. I can't see a reason to keep him around. Low Dimes 8775. I live 10 minutes south of you. My city has one cop. 10 minutes south. So you live in Romulus, I'm assuming? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the city of Wayne needs more than one cop. I don't know what, maybe a couple. But again, I don't because they're clearly not trained. They're clearly improperly trained, and it's a lot of money to hire to keep these fucking people around, right? A lot of them, they have so little to do that they'll just come break into some veteran's backyard over a smoldering fire pit, right? Without even having a codified ordinance. Even if you did, you still can't violate the Fourth Amendment, guys. You can't violate the Fourth Amendment to enforce a fucking ordinance. It's not rocket science. You got to have probable cause, you got to have exigency, a warrant, or my consent. Outside of that, it's comical. Really, it is. So, I don't anticipate things getting better in the city of Wayne unless we make some drastic changes, which includes really looking at that police budget and especially that fire department budget. Now, I can say I think the fire department's a bit more salvageable than the police department, but not much. I mean, we're talking, conveniently enough, the city of Wayne's $1.8 million in the hole, and that's about the size of the fire department budget. So, again, we have to ask, how many fires do we have in the city of Wayne per year? How many actual, I'm going to use that term, actual emergencies, right? I'm going to take a page out of the, further south of Romulus. What's south of Romulus? New Baltimore, is it? Is it New Baltimore, or you're probably in some sort of township or something? Oh, what's south of Romulus? I should know this shit. New Baltimore isn't, or New Hudson? No, it's New Baltimore, I believe. But yeah, I mean, conveniently enough, that's about the size of the fire department budget. And then you got to ask yourself, well, what are we getting in return for being in this deficit? I mean, how many fires does the city of Wayne have per year? One, maybe two, right? And how many fire stations border the city? How many fire stations are in Westland that are literally just minutes away from the city of Wayne, right? Because the city of Westland's been increasing their fire department, and the size of it, they've added new stations and updated old ones, and yeah, I mean, I don't see the point in having a fire department. I mean, EMS maybe, but then again, it's like, couldn't you contract that out? I mean, do you really need? Do we really need because the liability is what I'm more concerned about. Obviously, the budget's a concern, but the liability, right? Because if we're going to have these bullshit ordinances still on the books, and then we're going to have improperly trained employees, we're going to have more lawsuits. And of course, I'm going to encourage every single person in the city of Wayne, if you ever get an ordinance violation, or you ever get any sort of citation or warning or anything, send it to me, because it's probably unconstitutional, and it's probably, instead of spending the $400 or $500 to pay for the ordinance, you're much better off just filing a U.S. District Court lawsuit. And, there's tools. I can show you guys how to do it. I can show you how to do it. And, I would challenge it. I would never pay any of these tyrants for anything. They're worthless. They're worthless people. They're parasites. And they don't deserve your hard-earned money. They don't deserve a single cent. As far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't even be property taxes in the United States, let alone the state of Michigan. There shouldn't be an income tax. There shouldn't even be taxes at all. That's my belief, right? So No, I don't think you should. I think most of these ordinances in the city charter are unconstitutional, or they're unconstitutionally enforced, let's say. And so, no, I absolutely would encourage every citizen in Wayne, if you ever get a citation, an ordinance violation, anything like that, just file a lawsuit. Obviously, there's different tools and stuff that you can use to help draft your motions and to make them better, and obviously all that. But I mean, I would never pay these people a cent. These people are parasites, and they don't deserve your money. Because you got to ask, well, what am I getting for my money? And you're not getting much. You're not getting anything. Besides paying Diane Webb $197,000, the same city manager who got ran out of Redford, right? Redford, Michigan, which is, I mean, it's like a little Detroit. I mean, it's a shithole. And Diane Webb couldn't even hack it in Redford. And then we go and hire her. The city of Wayne goes and hires her and gives her $200,000 a year. I mean, it's disgusting. It's sickening. And so fire Diane Webb, of course, as always. And fire her. And, we don't need a city manager. We really don't. I mean, we really don't. There's nothing to manage. Diane Webb said it herself. So we can just get rid of everything. Then we don't have to manage really much of anything. We can contract shit out and save a lot of money, guys. We can save a lot of money and have better services and not be beholden to tyrants, right? And so, no. City of Wayne, I appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody's support and contributions and listening. And sorry I've been away for so long. Seems like it's been forever, but just doing my thing, guys. Just trying to bring some accountability to a corrupt world. And easier said than done, obviously, but we're not going to stop until we win. We're not going to stop until people are... I don't have city garbage pickup. I have to hire my own company. I mean, yeah, but I bet you probably save money and you probably get better. Because here's the thing, right? At least with that, right, you get a choice, right? You get to choose who you want, and I bet you probably pay less than what I do. I pay about $600 a year, give or take, $700 a year. So, I mean, I might, that's the only thing I can say that I have in the city of Wayne is I have trash pickup. That's it. That's the only service I have. Outside of that, I get nothing. Besides a dick in my ass. But unfortunately for the city of Wayne, that dick in my ass just ain't enough to do any. It really ain't enough to do any damage, and it's really kind of cute and annoying. And now Daddy's pissed. Now Daddy's here to clean house. Daddy's here to lay the law down. So Big Daddy Vince over here is not taking no for an answer, and $85 a month. Okay, so I guess it is a little bit more expensive, right? But that's a small price to pay, guys, to not have to worry about tyrants, to not have to worry about some Brandon Braun ordinance off. That was Diane Webb in our last city council meeting. Her solution to the city deficit is to hire more parasitic ordinance officers, right? That cost at least $50,000 a year. These parasites cost, and I would venture that it's a losing sum game, right, with these ordinance officers. I highly doubt that they are getting I highly doubt they're collecting what we're paying them, right? And then all they're doing is just lowering the morale in Wayne and destroying, really, people's trust. And just harassing, annoying people, right? I mean, if there's something really wrong with somebody's house, why not just knock on their door and say, hey, we would suggest you do this to, fix your property or whatever you got going on. Offer to help them, right? Maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're working too many hours to pay for these exorbitant taxes. And maybe they don't have time to address the issue. Maybe they don't even know about the issue, right? And so, I don't know. I think a different approach is in order. I think just knocking on the door, having a conversation, not trying to get $500 out of people that are already struggling to get by, right? But that's Diane Webb's $200,000 solution, right? Let's just hire more ordinance officers to go and harass the city of Wayne residents. Yeah. Because that's working out so well, right? Well, no, my response to that would be, hey, every time this Brandon Braun jackass or whoever else, right? Whoever other jackass ordinance officer, parasite, that's what I call him. Oh, yeah, city of Wayne, yeah, volunteer firefighters. Exactly, right? Exactly my point. Why don't we have a volunteer fire department? Why do we need to pay these parasites? Can't answer the question. Yeah, volunteer firefighters. I mean, that's all you need. I'll volunteer, guys. I'll volunteer to put out that one house fire we might have every other year, right? Does Wayne have weed shops? Oh, it's got a ton of weed shops. And it's got the Ford factory. But somehow it's broke. That's the one thing we got to figure out, guys. How in the fuck do we have a huge, two huge assembly plants in Wayne, Michigan, right? Ford. Right, we got these Ford assembly plants. There's massive plants. And we got multiple weed shops, right? One of the busiest weed shops in all the state of Michigan, right on Michigan Avenue, right? I think probably the busiest weed shop in the state. And we're broke. How? How is it possible? How can you have Ford in your city, right? Ford's taking up literally like a fourth of the city of Wayne's entire land mass, right? And we have a $2 million deficit? How? That's the question. Why? How in the fuck is Ford not paying? Like, we shouldn't even have to worry about a budget. I mean, how? Like, it's just insane to me. It's insane to me. Like, you know, where these pot shops and yeah, it absolutely is theft. Absolutely, 100% theft. Or they're just not taxing them at all, right? Which is insane, right? Because if Ford's going to take up a fourth of our city landmass, they better be paying I mean, it better be a fourth of the budget, right? At least a fourth of the budget. But, I mean, I think because it's taken up such a significant part of the city, I mean, how could you be in a deficit? How could you be in a deficit when Ford Motor Company, the biggest assembly plant, one of the biggest in the world, is right in your backyard? And then you have multiple pot shops, probably the busiest pot shop in all the state of Michigan, right? Millions. I mean, Ford makes billions, Smiles makes millions, but somehow we're broke. And then what did the city do? Oh, they kicked the can another 12 or 13 years? They extended out the retirement. I mean, it's just, oh, it's a disgrace, man. What a disgrace. $197,000 is what we're paying Diane Webb. And that's her genius solution, right? I mean, fuck, come on, guys. Be for real here, guys. And I'm the crazy one? Really? That's rich. Well, I don't know, just something to ponder over, guys, but I do appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate you tuning in. Low Dimes 8775, as always. You are, I can't say it because now I'm trying to be politically correct. See? But no, you are my nigga. That is what you are, and I'm gonna be myself, guys. If it loses me a vote or two, fuck it, right? But you know, what can I say, guys? Enough is enough. So all you Wayniacs out there, please vote August 4th, November 3rd. DeVincent Allen Leland McFarland, DeVincent A. McFarland. As of this video, I'm going to say vote for Matthew P. Mulholland. He seems to be, anyone that asks questions, critical questions of those in power, they have my vote. And then as far as the other candidate, I'll let you guys know after I do a little bit of research. I'll let you know who out of Shannon and I think it's Matt. I'll let you know which one of those is better suited, in my opinion, for the job. So Obviously not Donald Quarles, Kathy Lawrence, or Alfred Brock, right? Those three got to go. But you know, look up a dude named Scott Phillips. Lives on. Ooh, Scott Phillips. Well, let me take a little screenshot of that, buddy, so I don't forget. Gonna pull this. Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. We're gonna, like I said, we got to go make our rounds and get our yard signs displayed in people's yards and become the talk of the town again, right? So, gotta go. My boy's calling me. Talk to you later, guys.